Hi everyone, this is Sumeet Vyas, actor, writer, sometimes director, and you're watching me on Webfare.live. Most of it was theatre because that's where I spend most of my time. Web series happened in 2014, I think, and since then it's completely taken a different turn. Because the first web series that ever happened, and I happened to be in it, became very, very popular, and hence I also became a little popular. So suddenly you see people behaving differently, treating you with a little more, giving you a little more attention than you used to. Yes. I mean, there was an experiment that TVF did at that point of time. Nobody was taking that medium seriously, or didn't think that you could tell actual stories on that medium, on the web. But they were brave enough to take that chance. They put in all their hard work, money into it, and I was more than happy to be a part of that series. And none of us knew that it would become so big, and it would become this popular and all of that. At that point, I was only doing stage. So that I think in 2004 or 5, I did a TV show on Doordarshan. That was more for pocket money, to be very honest. I didn't have any plan that I'm going to be a film actor or a TV actor or any of that. Theatre doesn't really pay in India. You can't afford to have a life, by only doing theatre. Now it has. In the past few years, I see plays are being made on a substantial budget, and actors get paid and they can survive on it. 2009, I did a TV show which became a little popular. Is when I sort of understood the magnitude of this medium. I don't think there is any difference in the style of performance. There are certain technicalities to it, which is also, it's different on stage and it's different in front of the camera. Essentially, when you're acting for the camera comes to you. Camera captures what you are thinking, and while on stage you have to reach out to the audience. So that's the difference in the style of acting, or that technicality of it. Otherwise, the heart of it remains the same actually. While I was doing theatre, I was adapting a lot of plays and stories and writing short stories for my plays. So it started with that. I would read a lot of novels and stuff like that, and I had to adapt them into a structure which would suit the stage, which required a fair amount of writing. And then I also wrote a couple of original stories which worked on stage, so I always enjoyed it. And I directed plays. I actually directed my first play when I was 19, and subsequently I directed more. So yeah, I mean, I knew that it worked when it worked on stage. So in that sense, I would always give credit to stage, because that's where I experimented with all these forms, be it writing or direction or acting for that matter. What I think differentiates my work sometimes from other people's work is the amount of realism that I try to bring in. This style of performance has always attracted me. I try to bring it in theatre. Like initially when I used to go for screen tests and everything, people had this misconception that theatre actors are very loud. Theatre actors are Naseer, are Irfan, and they are the most realistic performers of our times. So that's a huge misconception that people have. So yeah, a lot of it happened from theatre. I do my little bit of homework. I don't like sharing it, so people think that I don't do it. But the point is not to show people who have worked hard on this part, and I'm living this character right now. Because it's very internal. It's more for me than for others. I think actors need to breathe. They just need to take it easy sometimes. There is a universe outside their universe, And if you can get out of your bubble and explore that as well, then that really helps you as an actor, you know, because it's so much fun to have the attention all the time, you know, when you're going out and you go to a restaurant and, you know, people treat you a little differently. It's very tempting to get used to it and start enjoying it and indulging in it. But I personally think that as an actor, you should try and get away from it from time to time, as much as you can, you know, just to mingle with the regular people, get a reality check. I'm a gangster, I think. I really want to play a gangster and, you know, like go complete 360 from how I am, you know. I think the problem is that people generally cast people for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look a certain way and if you are a certain person, then they cast you for a similar part because that's easy. But as an actor, what I constantly try to do is break away from who I am, because that's the fun of it. That's why I became an actor. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I was working with Sri Devi, and God bless her. She's I think one of the most gifted actors we've had in our country. One thing I learned from her is she was very neutral as a person. She was the most mellow person on the set, but in front of the camera she would shine. And all my life I thought maybe I can never be a star. And then I saw her and I was like, no, you totally can be a star, because it's about what you do in front of the camera that matters, not what you do behind the camera. Even with Kareena, I saw slightly similar pattern. I don't think of whatever I saw, I never saw her being all chirpy and all, super mainly on the set. She would be very cordial to everyone, and she would be in her own zone, and she would give it all in the take. So I really appreciated that. Working with Kalki, I've known she's sort of a contemporary, a more famous one. She's a really spontaneous actor. She's a very giving actor. She takes the initiative of breaking the initial, discomfort that two people have when they're working together. A lot of them, yeah. I want to work with Nawaz. I really like his work. Fantastical scenario. I want to work with Javier Bardem. I really like him. I think he's one of the most fantastic actors I've seen on screen. Many of them. Audience has become more open. That I would say is the biggest change. Besides, the more money has come in and bigger stars have come in and bigger budgets have come in, all of that. But the bigger change is the audience, who's become more receptive. They're not watching a web series or a web film or any of the content on the internet because there is a certain famous personality. They're watching it because they like the content of it. So the more curious people get about interesting content, the more interesting content will be churned out. Yeah. That has been the biggest change. I don't agree with censorship. I don't think one human being has the right to tell another human being what he should or shouldn't watch. As long as you're not invading someone else's private space, I don't think it's necessary. Especially on the web, because it's not like television, that you switch it on and people are sitting and suddenly something pops up, right? It's on a device, so you switch it on, you choose an app or you choose a show that you want to watch, and then you watch it. So you're already making those many choices to watch what you want to watch. The second season of AAA, that is coming out soon. And I shot for this film called Made in China. It's got me, Rajkumar Rao, Moni Roy, and Bhavani Rani. So that's very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I think mid-year this is going to release. And there's this other show that I'm doing called The Verdict for Alt Balaji. I'm playing Ram Jethmalani in it. It's around the Nanavati case. So that should also come out in a couple of months.